Well, first, before I talk about the recent research, I want to give you some information about what far infrared is. Now, how many people already have a sauna? And how many people have the relaxed sauna? Okay, very good. I've been at this expo at the ANMA for about the last 14, 15 years. And I've been presenting the relaxed sauna and introducing a very unique form of far infrared energy. Now, far infrared energy is, there's a book called Detoxify or Die by Dr. Sherry Rogers, and she spawned an industry. She's an environmental doctor, and way back in the 1990s, people would come to her and say, I've got multi-chemical sensitivities, I'm really sick, the medical establishment has given up on me, and other environmentally challenged people came up to her as well. And in the 1990s, in the late 1990s, she used far infrared saunas, which she called the superior sauna, distinct from the regular saunas. And she used them to get people back to being healthy and vital and alive. So they're taping this, David, officially, by the way. Okay. So at any rate, and my name is Philip Wilson, and I live in Las Vegas now, and for the last 21 years, I've been promoting and using the relaxed far infrared sauna and educating people about the marvelous effects of far infrared technology, and especially the 7 to 14 micron range, and educating people that we are ourselves far infrared light beings. Water is a far infrared molecule. And I don't know how many health professionals know or do not know that water is a far infrared light molecule, that it shines a certain vibration rate. Pythagoras, the great founder of modern mathematics, pointed out that everything vibrates, everything is frequency. Tesla, Edison, Jacob Lieberman, we all say that the medicine of the future is frequency and light. Light and invisible light and invisible sound and visible light as well. I opened up a health food store in 1980 and a health food distributing company selling to health professionals and selling to health food stores products such as in the early 80s. In 1984, I was selling green powders. I was selling medicinal mushrooms in 1980, Chinese herbs in 84, essential oils in 86, and oxygen products in 88, which is a forerunner of MMS. So I've been a pioneer. I had an out-of-body experience in 1970, which unbeknownst to me opened me up to a whole new realm. Before that I was a mathematician. I have an honors degree in mathematics at Indiana University in 1970. I had a 4-year fellowship at Ohio State University to pursue a PhD in mathematics, but because of the out-of-body experience and because of the Kundalini awakening experience, which energetically electrified my whole body and transformed every cell of my body into something that it wasn't, or something that it became greater and cleansed it, so I had trouble eating anything without going into a feeling I was on Thorazine at a mental institution, because I ate meat, I ate eggs, I couldn't eat anything, and I would have to meditate for 8-9 hours. So I had to pretty much go on a date and fig and cashew diet for about 9 months, is 80% of my diet. So it was, and I was doing these meditation exercises and yoga for about 6 hours every morning. I was having the time of my life. Maybe some people thought I was a little odd at the time and a little weird, but if you know anything about astrology, I do have an Aquarius rising and an Aquarius moon, so I appear to be a little strange and eccentric, and that's always been the way I come across to the world. I came into this world in 1948, and unbeknownst to me, I did have a mission here, and I am writing a book. It's in the process. It should come out this year. It's called Pictures of the Mind, and the subtitle is Freeing Yourself from Beliefs that No Longer Serve You. Now, in this world right now, especially in the last 3-4 years, there's been, oh my God, what in the world is going on? And I've been into holistic health since 1971. And I got into fasting. My body was very, very sensitive. And I could eat something and I could tell what it was doing. And I could not eat refined sugar. I could not eat refined carbohydrates. And I was pretty much a follower of the Dr. John Christopher diet, which is simply whole foods. You know, basically the whole food in its entirety. And that's, you know, no preservatives, you know, no refined products, no junk, no chemicals, no whatever they put, hormones or anything like that. And so I've been a strong adherent. I opened up a health food store in 1980, like I said. And the purpose of the health food store was an alternative to both pharmaceutical drugs and street drugs. So you could experience that upliftment, the upliftment that everyone wanting to go into street drugs. You could do all this stuff naturally, and the pharmaceutical drugs that people were taking. When you watch the TV, it used to be when I was growing up, you couldn't have those advertisements for pharmaceutical drugs on TV, and for good reason. And I don't know why right now you can, but you can. And when you listen to all the side effects, oh my God. And so I don't like side effects, so therefore I got into the natural route, got into fasting, and opened up a health food store and been promoting superfoods, spirulina, chlorella, green foods, Chinese herbal combinations, Ayurvedic medicine, and all sorts of kind of tonics like shilajit, fulvic acid, humic acid, Chinese herbs, all sorts of unique products that will give you that clarity of mind and tune you into the present moment. And when I was meditating in 1997, about 27 years ago, they whispered to me, momentum, taking advantage of the moment, propelling yourself into greatness. And so when you take advantage of the moment, that's living in the moment and listening. So basically it's saying, if you listen to inner guidance and there's a wave coming, and because you're listening, that way you get in front of the wave, and the wave will propel you into greatness. And so that's part of my mission, is to be aware of the pictures you're looking at. I know in conversations with God, it mentions you can never have what you want. And that sounds sort of strange, but if you think about it, because if you're wanting something, you're usually picturing yourself not having it. And therefore that's what you get. So basically the antidote to that would simply to be grateful for having what you think you maybe don't already have. So you go into the future and you're grateful for it, and then because of that attitude you have that you take, pretty soon before you know it, you're walking into the picture of yourself having the puppy licking you instead of being in a cage across the street in a pet store. So far infrared energy. I was selling massage tools to health food stores and doing a lot of expos starting in 1981. I've been probably at about 700-800 expos and conferences promoting health products since 1981, and actually since 1975. In 2002, I started promoting, or in 2001, I promoted a far infrared sauna, or an infrared sauna, like an Amazon sauna that I went to. It was in Las Vegas when I discovered it. I was at the Biological Dentist Show in September of 2001 or 2000, and the next day there was a spa show. So I went to the spa show, and one of my massage tool suppliers had a portable sauna. I said, oh my gosh, I cannot believe you can have a sauna in your home. I mean, to me, this is heaven. You know, when I was 16, 17, I experienced saunas for the first time. Oh my gosh, nothing felt better than sweating in a sauna. I guess just the invigoration of these toxins coming out of your body and just the cleansing of every cell just felt so great. So basically, those are my Baroque days, you know, like before the classical period is the Baroque period. Those are my Baroque days, B-R-O-K-E. So it took me a year to be able to afford to buy one from that company, and I bought one and I used it, and I would get in the sauna, and it took so long to preheat. So I would take the chair out and sit on the floor, and it would take me 18 minutes to start sweating. And after about 55 minutes, I felt I had a great sweat. And I loved it. I used it for a year. I used it, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 days a week. And then I get a call from Taiwan a year later in 2002, October, and they said, hey, we saw your website. You went on and on and on and on. We were impressed talking about this other sauna, and we wanted to introduce you to the Relax Far Infrared Sauna, where we use semiconductor chips, and they give you the exact frequency of light that's the same as the water in your body and the human body. And this advanced technology has made our sauna very, very good, and we want you to sell our sauna. And I said, okay, how much is it? And they told me, and it turned out to be less than what I was paying wholesale for the other. And they sent it to me, and it came 2 days later. And everyone at my store, you're talking about 10 people, and in my office, they said, oh my gosh, this is a night and day difference. Wow. So, you know, even then, it took me about 10, 15 years to realize that the Relax sauna was so special and so very, very different and special than any other sauna. But, and anyway, after promoting saunas for a long time at conferences, like I've done about 400 medical conferences right now, promoting the Relax sauna, and people have been getting in. I've put 150,000 people in the Relax sauna, and I've seen 20 to 30,000 minor or major miracles in this time period. And at the last talk, I did not talk about a lot of the testimonials and the people, but so I'll get into that here to inspire you. But I also want to, promote, tell you about the latest research and make sure you understand what far infrared energy is. So we're talking about frequency medicine. Frequency medicine is you all heard of a Rife machine that sends off certain frequencies. If you hit the right exact frequency of the disease frequency, it will counteract it and it will dissipate it. And then you have PEMF, you have microcurrent technology, you have near infrared, you have red light therapy, you have ozone therapy, you have hyperbaric oxygen. There's a lot of energy medicine techniques, and a lot of contraptions or wonderful technologies. I was at the EE centers that opened up in Summerlin a couple days ago, and they use the Relax sauna after people do their systems of scalar energy, and then they get in the Relax sauna. And we were at a conference, and there was a microcurrent technology booth down the aisle, and the lady got in the sauna and said, oh my God, and she brought her partner over. The partner went in, and she had had cancer 4 years before, and she said, oh my gosh, I can feel all my systems in the body are starting to rebuild each other, and this is what we need to complete our microcurrent technology. So even like an athletic trainer who trains his coach and trains his baseball player, his football player, his athlete, and gets him to as best as he can do. Then if they introduce the Relax sauna 7 minutes before a workout, 20 minutes after a workout, whether you're a marathon runner and oh my gosh, you're going to improve performance. We were at an athletic show. They had a jumping machine, and you jump and you jump and you jump, and they measured how far you high, how far you can jump. Then they go into Relax sauna for 7 minutes, and they did about 10 people, and everyone jumped between 1 and 3 to 5 inches higher. So if this is true, and you're a basketball player and you're not using the Relax sauna, something's not right. So it's really an educational situation. It's learning to educate the people. And when I go to these conferences of the doctors, and like we have a book at our booth. We're in the corner, the last 2 booths in the corner, and we've got 4 saunas there for you to try, and a number of you have already tried it. But when you go in, it's special. It's very special, and that's why when I talk about the magic of 7 to 14 micron frequency. Now, Dr. Toshika Yamasaki wrote a book in Japan called The Science of Far Infrared Therapy. And she said water molecules cluster, and they trap or encapsulated gases, poisonous gases, sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, and the toxic minerals, mercury, lead, aluminum, arsenic, etc., all trapped by the water clusters. She says, but upon application of 7 to 14 micron frequency, that gets the water molecules to vibrate. And when the water molecules vibrate, that causes the weakening of the ionic bonds between the hydrogen and the oxygen, and that releases the water clusters and unclusters the water molecule and releases the encapsulated poisonous gases to be released from the body and to go out through the elimination systems. Now, Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, made a very, very profound statement. He said, find me a way to create fever, and I will cure disease. That's profound. Now, they have a hospital in Germany called St. George Hospital. They get your temperature up to 104, 105, and it kills everything, the parasites and everything. And then they have specific equipment that prevents the body to get up to 107, 108 because you don't want to kill the body. That defeats the whole purpose. So, and that's hyperthermia. Now, Dr. Paul Anderson, who's a cancer doctor, had a clinic up in Washington State. He used to teach at Bastyr Naturopathic College for 25 years and now gives seminars on the advanced applications of medical practices. And he bought 4 saunas from us for his clinic, and he sent us a video saying he can get the temperature up to 101.5, 101.9 every time. Every time. His assistant said they increase the body temperature 4.2 degrees, and they actually, while they're doing IV therapy, IV vitamin C therapy, and they put them in the sauna, and their hand sticks out, and they have the IV connected to the hand, and they do for an hour, and they increase body temperature 4.2 degrees. But he can increase body temperature, pretty much 3.2 degrees all the time, in general. And this is something, now, not just increasing body temperature, but according to a study that this guy presented in 2017 on reddit.com, he saw the research on the wooden infrared saunas and said, oh my God, this is incredible. And there's these saunas selling on Amazon for $200, $250. Oh my God, I'm going to get one. And he tested it. He tested the temperature in it for 25 minutes. He tested the body temperature. He tested the heart rate variability. And it raised body temperature a full half a degree. That's all. And heart rate variability didn't change whatsoever. Well, that's not what the research says. So, and again, a lot of the companies on Amazon or even other companies selling the wooden infrared saunas will say far infrared saunas will do this according to the research, and here's our far infrared sauna. But there's no research on their particular sauna at all. And this has always puzzled me, and we never had research on the relax sauna either until recently. So we know that far infrared between 2 and 50 micron does this, but what percentage of this actually resonates with the water molecules? Now, as I said, the water is a molecule that has a frequency of 8 microns. The human body, mammals, and birds, we all vibrate at 9.4 microns because, according to George Pollack, who wrote the book, Gerald Pollack, who wrote the book Fourth Phase of Water, and there's a certain kind of phase which is a gel-like substance between ice and water that is totally pure and nothing can dissolve in it, that far infrared light actually increases the exclusion zone water, and that's a special kind of water which the more you have, the better off you are. Now he says that they have not been able to get more than 5 micron of far infrared ray to test it because it's very, very expensive, and that's what a lot of people don't realize. That's like Angela Drake she's a detox specialist in Las Vegas, and she came to us about 3 years ago and said, I have the best portable sauna out there. It sells for $1,200. It's great. And I said, have you ever heard of the relax sauna? And she didn't, but I finally convinced her to get in the relax sauna, saying it was special. And when she did, she was convinced. that it was better. She actually gave her $1,200 portable sauna away because the relaxed sauna, as she said a year ago when I interviewed her, when I delivered another sauna to her, she says, all saunas are not alike. They're all different. It's just like all B supplements are not alike. They all have different doses and different, substances they make the B vitamins out, and some have B3 and B12 and so much and whatever. And so she gave away her higher dose blanket. She said, the relaxed sauna revitalizes me and the other saunas drained me. So she gave them away. So, we have 900 video testimonies, interviews. I interview people after they've been in the sauna for 8 minutes and they say, gee, I got a flu shot 13 years ago and I've had shooting pain in my feet for 13 years. And in 7 minutes it's gone. For the first time in 13 years. We, about a year ago, we put 2 vaccine-injured nurses one had not had any feeling in her fingers and the other one had not felt the circulation in her leg at all between her feet and her hip for 2.25 years. And they both cried and they both got saunas and they're both very, very happy campers. The relaxed sauna will do miracles. The people who are into the movement of helping to educate those living in this world about the dangers of the COVID shots, of the mRNA shots. Dr. Brian Artist, Dr. Carrie Madej, Dr. Christiane Northrup, Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, Dr. Robert O. Young, Dr. Sandra Michael, Michael Jaco, Robert Scott Bell, Dr. Paul Thomas, Dr. Larry Palevsky, Dr. Judy Mikovits. They've all purchased relaxed saunas from me. And a lot of them are promoting it. I'm being interviewed next week by one of them. I've been interviewed by others. It's very, very exciting to be in the forefront of the industry. We just had a lawyer who works with someone very, very involved in the political arena. Their lawyer just got a relaxed sauna from us last week. She just got it yesterday. We're making inroads to educate the people. Now, for many, many years at these conferences, now incidentally, the far infrared light goes through the sand and resonates with the water in the turtle eggs. Sand does not get hot. The outside gets hot because of the ultraviolet, but the water in the turtle eggs get hot, and that causes the embryo to grow into a turtle. Otherwise, it would not. See, we all know that chickens cheat day on the eggs, but actually, it's not the heat; it's the far infrared light in their body resonating with the water in the eggs that does it. When you have a preemie, they're born and they're in an incubator. Okay. That gives them the far infrared light. And one of my workers many, many years ago said, why did they stop when they reach healthy? They should continue to do it so they can become super healthy. And when people come by the booth, I have 2 things I say to them. I say, number 1, if you have any kind of pain, I guarantee that 50% to 100% of your pain will be gone in 5 to 7 minutes without sweating with your clothes on. I guarantee it. So we're bringing those who have pain, who have, like when you saw the movie The Field of Dreams, everyone said, what's the theme of that? Well, if you build it, they will come. Well, that's true, but the greater theme at the beginning of the movie, ease his pain. And that's what the relaxed sauna, just what the far infrared does. It cleanses every cell of the body like a washing machine has water, and the water from the washing machine cleanses every fiber of the clothes. Every fiber of the clothes is being cleansed by the invisible water that goes through something solid. So the far infrared light goes through our body and resonates with our water molecules and cleanses every cell of our body in the same way. It's like basking in divine love. And that's the second thing I tell people. For those who don't have pain, who feel good, but who want to feel super good, I said, this feels like your grandma's giving you a loving hug. And they say, not my grandma. And I said, the grandma you always wished you had. Because when you talk about babies, you talk about animals, you talk about grandmothers, it gets people's hearts to melt. And that's what we want to do. And when you go into the relaxed sauna, that's exactly what happens. Because when you increase body temperature, remember Hippocrates, our friend, who chimes in when you go into the relaxed sauna. He says, bingo, I just raised your body temperature. You have a fever, now I can cure you. Well, so you go into the relaxed sauna, and what happens, 5 things happen when you increase body temperature and you have a fever. Number 1, remember the encapsulated gases that are released? Well, it basically, the far infrared energy, when you increase the body temperature, will actually mobilize. It'll get out of hibernation the white blood cells, or will birth them, and the white blood cells is part of the lymphatic system, and they will detoxify the body and get all the junk out, the pesticides, the plastics. Dr. Sherry Rogers in her book says she doesn't know anything that get the plastics out of your body except for far infrared saunas. And you got microplastics, and you have dioxins, which is from chlorine. That can get out of the body, according to Dr. Sherry Rogers, and she goes on and on and on for 250, 300 pages. The book, basically, Detoxify or Die, is all about far infrared saunas, 80% anyway. So what you want to do is you want to, when you increase body temperature, you also increase the circulation and the microcirculation, and therefore it lowers blood pressure, always lowers blood pressure, and it gets rid of the inflammation and hence the pain, and a lot of times it'll get rid of scar tissue. Now, see, stagnant, pond, a stagnant pond is a breeding ground for mosquitoes, so stagnant areas of your body are breeding grounds for mold and bacteria. So and we've had incredible results we have a page, relaxsaunas.com/superior, relaxsaunas.com/superior. And we've got about 15 videos, and Paula Schofield from Desert Hot Springs had a wooden sauna, didn't quite do the trick. She got the relaxed sauna about 10, 12 years ago at the Long Beach conference, and her mold toxicity gone, and she became radiant, and in the picture 3-4 years later, she just is totally radiant. And this is what happens to people, because this is the loving light of the sun. There was a doctor came into the sauna about 4 or 5 years ago, and he said, well, what does this do? I said, it's loving light. He said, well, I'm a doctor. Can you give me a little bit more scientific information? And I went on and on and on. And the next day when he came back, he said, loving light was the best description of it. Because when you feel loved, and so that's what also happens when you increase body temperature. Number 1, you detox the body because it mobilizes the lymphatic system. Number 2, increases the circulation, the microcirculation. Number 3, it oxygenates the body. It floods the body with oxygen. That'll kill all the anaerobic bacteria, and it can also kill parasites. Oxygenating the cells is how your body gets nutrients. So you want to get the gunk out and then oxygenate the cells and let the nutrients come in. If you've got a mercury ion on top of your receptor cell for magnesium, you can't absorb the magnesium. So if we get it out, your body can now absorb nutrients. As a matter of fact, we were at a naturopathic doctor or some kind of nutrition conference, and one of the speakers said, if you have low thyroid, and if you can increase your body temperature 1 degree, you can increase the absorption of nutrients 20%. I was once at a Louise Hay conference. The lady said, well, I'm a vegetarian, and I just eat some meat. My stomach is really bothering me. I don't want to go in now. I said, no, that's when you do go in. And all her stomach pain went away. People have headaches, they go in. I mean, if you look at the 900 video testimonies, about 100 of them from people who have other saunas, and they just didn't do the trick. The versatility of the relaxed sauna, the fact that it heats up in 30 seconds, oh my God. It's the only sauna that has a treatment for 5 to 7 minutes where you can get rid of 50% or 100% of your pain without sweating. And you can do that 3 or 4 times a day, or just for a power nap. You go in for 5 to 7 minutes. If you want a great sweat, Andrew Huberman and Rhonda Patrick talk about the Finnish saunas. You go to 210 degrees, you sweat for an hour, and you create heat shock proteins. And they say that the wooden infrared saunas that cost $8,000 can't do that. But the relaxed sauna can in 20 minutes, in 25 minutes. They don't know about it yet. It takes a long time. People come by the booth. Well, I have a far infrared $8,000 sauna. That certainly couldn't do what my, big large $8,000 sauna does. Right, and this can't do what a $2,000 desktop computer to do 20 years ago. By the way, this has more EMF, 100 times the EMF of any household appliance. And it turns out that Dr. Toshiko Yamasaki says in her book that far infrared actually antidotes the negative effects of EMF. And it also antidotes the negative effects of overexposure of ultraviolet, which is called sunburn pain. I have put about 7, 8 people with sunburn pain of a 7 or 8 in the relaxed sauna and got them down to a 1 to a 0. Who would think that you would have sunburn pain and you would want to go into that hot box? It's not hot. It's warm and loving. Big difference. It's not hot. It's light. Those radiators in the relaxed sauna, Carrie, do you want to give all the people those things? The radiators that are made with the semiconductor chips in the relaxed sauna, they generate, what they do is they act as a filter, and they only give you the 7 to 14 micron. Most saunas use ceramic, or they use the carbon panels. Now, if you would ask a sauna company, what part of your sauna is the 7 to 14 micron range, they will say, probably, I don't know. We never measured it. Like when we sent to Harvard, here's the research. We sent to Harvard the relaxed sauna. We sent a $1,200, $1,300 portable sauna pretending to be us, saying they have low EMF and that they're the greatest of the great. And they're way better than the Amazon saunas. And we sent a $300 Amazon sauna to Harvard MIT Department of Health and Technology lab. They came back and said, we sent the relaxed sauna 6 months earlier to Polytechnic University in LA, and they had, for the first 60 minutes in the relaxed sauna, the temperature ranged from 7 to 14 microns exactly, and never outside of that bullseye range for 60 minutes. So we sent it to Harvard. They said the same thing. All the energy is between 7 and 14 microns. So they tested the $1,200, $1,300 sauna. 1.2 to 6 microns was the range. 8% far infrared rate, and none in that magical frequency of between 7 and 14. The Amazon sauna, I was shocked because, they say far infrared saunas will do this, and here's our sauna, our infrared sauna. 0.95 to 1.3 microns. 0% far infrared. It's a near-infrared sauna. And way back in 2017, near-infrared saunas were the range. They said near-infrared will do all this, and even though Dr. Sherry Rogers says far infrared will do this, no, it doesn't. Near-infrared does it, and far infrared does it. What the heck are you talking about? This is crazy. And then they have the research goes to near-infrared lasers. Well, that's not a near-infrared light bulb, and we did research in 2004 showing that the relaxed sauna little lamp, at 150, which 200 watts now, but the 150 watt lamp penetrated and increased circulation significantly more than a 250 watt Philips near-infrared light bulb. And that was presented at the 2004 photonic conference in Taiwan in 2004.